Alrighty guys, here, welcome to my guide for the Assassination Rogue. Second patch though, here after the anniversary event and the changes. There's a few changes we'll go over, and we'll go over everything you can possibly need to know. So welcome to the guide, and if you like and enjoyed it and it helped you out, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more great content, and give some tips if you have extra tips that you feel people could be useful in the comments, or tell me what you thought of the video. Alrighty. So, Assassination Rogue enjoyers.
It's a matter of focus, commitment, sheer will. Something you know very little about.
Alright, so playing our Assassination Rogue here is spreading a lot of bleeds, doing a lot of dots, and then we gain more energy so we can pick the biggest, baddest target and go full on John Wick and stab him or her with our pencils of daggers till they die, and cleave out around with our dots and poisons, and it's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to be great. So let's go into how you do that. Alright, so we're going to start in stealth. We're going to open a Garrett, into another Garrett, into Ruptures. So we have 5 Garretts and Ruptures. We're going to do Garrett twice again, into an ambush before we run out of subterfuge. Then we're going to fill up the rest of our dots on our target, and into Thistletea, Kingsbane, Unused Trinket, and Deathmark. And then it is just spamming Fan of Knives into Envenoms for a quick stack on the Kingsbane, into ambushes to make sure we keep our Caustic Spatter up, and that is basically it. Then you want to maintain your dots after that, and then have your main priority target and just slap out those Envenoms. You also want to make sure you keep Crimson Tempest up on even one target. It does a lot more damage than a single Envenom, although keep in mind it is not worth refreshing on a single target if they are almost dead. And speaking of single target, let's open here. We're going to ambush, Garrett, Rupture for full Rupture, then Garrett and ambush for extra duration of Garrett, and then we're going to pop our cooldowns on our use trinkets, Shiv, and put Crimson Tempest, and then we are going to start spamming some Envenoms here with Mutilate, stacking up our combo points. After this here, it is just maintaining dots, and you are free frying on the single target opener. But before we can become the John Wick style Assassination Rogue Master, obliterating everything in keys, we are going to have to take a look at some talents. Ta-da! Is the poison build. There's another build that is more focused on bleed, that is a bit fun to play. In lower keys it works really well, and it does outperform this here slightly, but it requires mobs to die quicker. But I'll go over some of the options you have, and if you want, take a look. These are the talents, and there'll be a link to the import below, so you can just copy paste them. We're gonna play Deathstalker, mainly for Lingering Darkness, so we get more nature damage. Taking these here, Ethereal Cloak or Bait and Switch. You can choose. Bait and Switch, I think, is the most played. Ethereal Cloak is more personal preference, or if there's some specific long things you want to immune completely. For higher keys, Elusiveness is something you want to take because there's a lot of damage you can lower, or Cheat Death is also still really good, viable option. Still Shroud, you can finagle this here around, so you can take Still Shroud if you want. Unbreakable Stride, you can also take Shadow Runner here, you can remove, and then you can take in there. Maybe you want to remove this and go over there. But generally, there's a lot of stuff you can finagle. Still Shroud you can move, and I believe you can actually also move tricks if you want to. I do not recommend it. You can also take Master Poison off, move that around as you please. But definitely keep tricks if you ask me. It can be moved in situations where you have a tank of trust and all that. Over on the other talents here, we are taking Sudden Demise, Indiscriminate Carnage, Dragon Timbered Blades, Kingsbane. you know, it's just as usual here. One of the new things that we're going to look into a lot here is the new way subterfuge works. So before, it did not increase the duration of your other stealth lingering abilities like subterfuges. The thing is, we got to make sure we ambush at the right time. More about that later. So we get a lovely caustic spatter here. It says mutilate, but it also is caused by ambush. So subterfuge increases the duration of stealth abilities. That is going to be Master Assassin. It is going to be Iron Wire because we gain improved Garrett. And it is going to be Shroud Suffocation. There's a lot. Everything that increases damage after like stealth and stuff. It is also Indiscriminate Carnage. So we have a lot bigger window where we can spread out dots. And we have a lot more windows for splitting silences. Yay! And also they reduce damage with Iron Wire. So that is a really, really good thing. And it's going to help your tanks not get absolutely clapped. This is it for the talents. This is the build you want to play. You can yoink it down below. Alright, now we know the talents and we know how to open our targets here. So, general play and some tips and tricks here so we can become the John Wick of the Mythic Plus Keystones. So, remember here we silence in our openers here. Be careful you don't override your empowered Garrets that are coming when you're open from stealth. And make sure you keep your dodge up. You're gaining energy from Garrets and Ruptures. So, make sure you keep those up and maintain a little bit of them even after you're open. Even if the dots trickle off and you don't have advantage, you want to maintain a couple. Your silencers in the opener are golden, and you can, before your Indiscriminate Carnage windows run out, refresh Garrett to like silence again, and also maintain more energy regen. Stuns, use Kidney Shot as a stop for cast. It's really great. You also have your AoE blind. You can blind a big ad that is immune to blind, and it will still hit the targets around them here to stop a bunch of casts in emergency situations. Feint is one thing I want to touch on quickly because it is a badass ability, especially if you are taking elusiveness. Although you are losing out on the cheat death, but anything, you can reduce 20% of any damage, especially since we're playing very low versatility in the spec here. It is a golden to get good at using, so try not to drain your energy too much. Other than that, I have a few tips and tricks here to tell your teammates. Let your tanks know, do not chain pull, especially if mobs are low. It is a waste of your damage and your control, and you really need those restalls. Secondly here, learn which mobs you can have as your main target. A priority mob that needs to die quick, great. Send your cooldowns, get it done quickly. Although remember, you will lose out on a lot of damage from your cooldowns as when the mob dies, your cooldowns are gone. If there's multiple big mobs here, try and make sure you target one that your teammates aren't. Priority targeting, that way you have a bigger chance of your cooldowns actually staying up. And lastly here, let your teammates know that you'll be silencing packs for a long time, so they avoid overlapping CCs and control in the beginning. Which is also one of the greatest thing about having a rogue, that you have so much silence and stuff. So make sure your team gets a good use out of it and let them know that. Especially if they're not used to playing rogues, like informing like, hey, I'm gonna do things, and rogues working a bit differently. A lot of people are not used to playing, especially with Asa rogues here, for the past many seasons. So let them know how you work and get some good keys done. Alrighty then, let's go over some gear. Well, we all know the most important part of your gear is your transmog. So if you haven't gotten your Bloodfang set, then put on your greatest transmog ever for a totally imaginary 15% damage increase. It's really important. And the sweet stackers you have. Anyway, for gear here, we want a cool stat distributions here for keys. We want around 50% mastery, 30% crit. A lot of people are playing a lot higher amounts of crit. This is for more Seal Fate combo points and a better flow of the spec, and just in general a lot more damage, as a lot of your bleeds and dots are progging benefits of crit as well. So crit is gonna naturally be really high, same as mastery. You want to stick around 10% haste or and like around 2-3% verse. If you're going really high keys, you might want to get more verse, especially if you're having a tough time pressing feint. But generally, you want not that much verse, because it's not that great of a damage benefit, and we can get a lot of stuff from avoidance. However, avoidance is not as great as a stat as it used to be, so keep that in mind. Your tier pieces, you want 4 set pieces, and your 4 best pieces are going to be head, shoulders, knees, legs, and the hands. There's no tier toe piece, so you're going to have to live without that. Crafted items, craft a dagger, put it in your offhand. If you have a Mythic dagger, the Ascendance trait on it, and then you want to craft a belt with the one that doubles the Ascendance trait. Trinkets, Scout's Grace, or the treasures, suffix from the raid is terrible in practice to use, and is really, really often gonna screw you over in the worst possible ways. I don't recommend it if you can get your hands on Scout's Grace. This is farmable at 626 eye level on hero track, and it is awful to farm, so good luck. Other than that, the stat procs, either Empowering Crystal of Anub Ikash or the Spyglass from Siege of Borealis are really good. You can alternatively also go with the Arakara Sackbrute. Overnax Mercurial X sims really, really well. However, it is also really, really annoying to use in practice. If you read it, you have to move around and then use it. And at least this doesn't count as a unused trinket, but this is absolutely awful. Do not recommend. Stick to the Mythic Plus trinkets. They are more fun and a lot easier to use. There is also the dagger trinket from the Delves. If you can get that on a hero track, that is also really decent. However, you should sim your character to figure out what is best. Alrighty here. Lastly, before I leave you guys completely, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned a lot of things here, but I'm gonna give you some golden nuggets here at the end as a thanks for watching the video all the way through. And that is some macros that I used to make my life a whole lot easier playing keys as a rogue. So let's type /M if you don't know how to open macros. That's a lot easier. So, a unused trinket with the death mark. Macro, yes. Show tooltip, cast death mark, use trinket. Easy, easy. Next up, we have a Kingsbane macro, and it is just whenever we cast Kingsbane, we want to set that tide as focus. More on that later on. And we are going to need a focus ambush, or set focus with ambush. It's a /cast, ambush, /focus. It is fucking 7:30 in the morning, and I haven't slept yet due to editing this here, and I wanted to get it out because I didn't get the first iteration out. So I'm doing this for you guys. Hopefully you'll subscribe to the channel and leave a like in the video and share it with all your friends. If they suck at playing rogue, hopefully this will help them. And so we want to set the targets with focus ambush. We want to put the focus ambush on our stealth bar only. We want to make sure that we have our Kingsbane as well, because that is the time we want to go back to if we are swapping target to interrupt or to CC something, right? And then we have a just /target focus macro, and then you keybind this. So whenever you're swapping out, right, you don't have to fiddle around. You just go press, boom, then you're back at the target you're supposed to be hitting. This is a godsend. Learn to use it, and you will be king of the keys in no time. And I'm just gonna do the lazy thing here and say thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna sign off and get to sleep, because I have a few hours before I have to go to a meeting, and I have to stream again today. So hopefully I'll see you over on the channel. Take care, guys. Bye.